growing up, we didn't really have much money as children. One of four, my mum was on her own bringing us up.
I was a finance director for a FTSE 250, doing very well on the corporate ladder.
Okay, you've always had this big illusion of being able to invest in property and make loads of money, but does anyone really know how to do that?
It was just the hours. As Rob will probably agree, when you have a baby, the world changes. And that's exactly, so sure. I had a little one, and the hours weren't, I was doing 70, 80 hours a week.
I was a chef. I'm a chef by trade, and as you know, chefing is quite unsociable hours.
I was doing a job, so I was, I suppose you could say, just over broke. That's what it's all about. The pensions also, well, I was putting into that, but it didn't look like it was growing very much.
I actually came back from working in Albania. I'd been involved in aid work and education, and marriage had fallen apart. Came back with no money, slept on a friend's floor.
I have raised a total of around about $750,000 in JV finance. Half a million of that I actually turned down in the end.
What's the kind of rough amount of that money?
It's round about £1 million.
My goal this year is to raise about £1 million of JV finance. Currently, we've got about 350 to 400,000 of that. So, it's February. By the end of the year, I expect to beat my goal.
You've gone out and raised how much JV finance?
We're looking at it initially about 1.2 million now, which is essentially made up of minimum of 10 deals, using around about 120, 125,000 pounds each time. Wow! And that's just the tip of the iceberg, really, isn't it?
So we've done 245,000 in JVs. We've bought just under £1 million worth of properties in the last 7 months.
In total, I think I've probably raised about £1.5 million worth of joint venture finance. Some of it's obviously gone back.
Sure. And that's enabled you to build that £2.5 million portfolio and flip the £5 million worth of
that's right,
deals.
Sure.
And at the JV day, you really get the feel of community. I don't think, that was fantastic. Meeting people downstairs, just the way people spoke to you, you kind of think, what, if you want anyone to kind of hold your hand, if you're worried about anything, this is a damn good place to start.
We meet a few times a week, and just from doing that, we've just built up a relationship over a few years, a period of time, and we've got to know and like each other, become friends.
There is always money out there. I spend a lot of time going out to network meetings, both property and business meetings, and just talking to people about what I do and getting people interested in it. People are always interested in investing in property.
We decided that we was going to speak like we do about our current job and talk about how we love it. Be really enthusiastic about it, and hopefully that will be what the selling point is.
Sure.
Do people know who wants to sell houses? Do people know anybody who wants to invest in property? Do people know anybody who has money that they want to get a better rate of interest than they're getting in the bank? And develop the conversations along those lines, and there's lots of money coming out now.
I had to change my beliefs. I can raise money, and I can do deals.
Sure.
And I think you've got to find the deals, you've got to find the investors, but you've got to believe you can do both. And putting the two together, I think is what's made the difference.
Sure.
But absolutely, if you believe that you can go out and raise finance, you will do.
Well, I thought I'd had a few challenges, but raising money, for instance, everybody says, oh, it's really difficult to get hold of money, but I raised 50 grand on Facebook the week before Christmas.
If you're sat on the fence and you've been umming and ahhing for the last 18 months, I guarantee you, if you spend the next 2 years sitting on the fence umming and ahhing, you're going to be in the same situation.
Sure.
I think, what would you say to people? Just do it. Really, just go and do it.
As I said, the properties that I've got before getting educated, I've got loads of money all tied up, which I'm going to have to wait for the market to rise to get the money back out.
Sure.
Where buying it this way, I've been able to turn it and keep going, so I'm able to keep buying. So definitely important to get educated.
You need to invest in yourself. It's as simple as that. Invest in your own education so that you can gain the benefit of it 4, 5, 10 times over. The number of deals that I've done have by far in excess paid for my education, and you can benefit from that too.
I recommend these guys.
Right,
and
thank you.
They are very honest. Mark, Rob, both have said things to us that you would never hear anyone else tell you their own strategies.
Get to the courses, learn what you can, and then take action.
Sure.
And you'll see the results.
If you think you have no money to get into property, the only place you have no money is in your head.